Hello, welcome back to Chaotic Crafting. I have gathered up some supplies that I wanted to talk to you for just a second about. First of all, I've got regular copy paper. I want us to do some jelly printing and just wanted to show you sort of what I use. Tracing paper from a pad of tracing paper. I got a couple of those. I've got some songbook pages, and these are just randomly stuff that I have collected over the years. I'm a sucker for an old book that's already aged, so I don't have to do the tea staining myself. And these I get from either Charles on 2nd and Charles in the free bins, and I think I picked this one up at the library, and they were giving them away. And they had a box outside the library. We also have like a little box, take a book, leave a book, close to my neighborhood that sometimes I'll go visit. But this is just a book that I like to use for the pages. Once I gut it, I may use this cover as a repurpose it for a journal cover. But for now, I just use it as book pages. And for jelly printing, I love using these for the to clean off my brayer. The thing about these on jelly plates, though, if I use these directly on jelly plate, the older these pages are, the more brittle and fragile they are, so they don't always work out to be a great source to do your jelly printing on, but they are always great for cleaning off your brayer. So we've got book pages, and these are some of my favorite things to jelly print on. And this is the deli paper. This box comes with 500. And these are the sandwich wrappers that you can get. This was very inexpensive. I'm pretty sure I got it off of Amazon. It's one of my favorite things to do because I don't like using the big jelly printer. I have some big ones, but I like using the smaller ones, and I'll show you why. But I've got some pages of that jelly paper out and ready. So I'll set that aside. And one of my favorite, newest obsessions is dun, 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 white feathers. Jelly plate had a kit with some white feathers. So what I did was like, oh my gosh, you can print on feathers. So I Googled it, and I ordered some feathers from Amazon in a pack, and they're not beautiful, but they are white. So I'm gonna get some of these out, and we're gonna jelly print on white feathers. It's so much fun. Of course, we have to have a jelly plate. I have the oblong one. I'm not sure even what the size is, but it comes with, Dina Wakley comes with this one and a round one and a larger one. And then I bought this one just from jelly plate art. And this is just a square one. And also, of course, you have to have a brayer. I got a small one. This is the Tim Holtz one. And then I have a large one. Recently I ordered this. It's just some tissue paper on a roll, but if you notice, it's got like some gold pattern on it, and I thought that would be great for jelly printing. So I bought a little roll. It was very inexpensive. It's got some gold splatters, and I'm going to use it for making some patterns as well. And up to the side here, and out of sort of sight for you, on my stand, I have some stencils. Most of these, I admit, are art by Marlene. I like hers because she'll have one stencil that's got hearts, flowers, stars, stripes, several different options on the same stencil. So I like using hers because obviously I don't ever use the whole square at once. So all of these are from her. What I do is I get out my favorite colors. I love, if I've got hot pink, yellow, and turquoise, I can rule the world. All right, so I can make a beautiful orange, I can make a beautiful green, and I can make a beautiful purple with these 3 colors. So these are literally what I buy the most of. And then I have a small bottle of this golden iridescent gold. You can see by the tick mark that it is sort of transparent. It's not opaque for sure. It didn't cover up those tick marks, so you can use it. It's a great layering technique. And then I have just a little bit of titanium white, and this is a fluid acrylic, so it's good on the jelly printing. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna start off just using copy paper. I know just enough about jelly printing to be dangerous, so we will learn together. I do know you have to sort of start off with a thinner layer of paint. So when I realize my paint is too thick, I will start getting off some of the excess onto that extra paper that I've got. I work really hard to not have all these stripes in mine. I may have to go to this one. There we go. Okay, so I have a nice thin layer. And I'm just gonna put down a stencil. It's gonna be sort of a random. I'm trying to pick up most of this scallop. And I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to take one of my jelly sheets and pick up everything inside of that stencil. So when I lift it, I now have a nice print on my deli paper. And when I lift this, I also have a opposite print on my plate still. And sometimes I'll just put this, acrylic dries fast, and I live in the South, so it's always hot here, but I'll put this and just see if I can get a pattern out of that. Nope, already dried. I'm not a, I got to wash that stencil immediately kind of person. And by the time I did all that, this is already dried on this plate. So in order for me to lift it, I have to use another color. So I'm going to use a yellow. Make sure my brayer is clean, but I just do that by making sure when I run it on the paper, it runs clear. And the trick about picking up the second layer is if you don't see that first layer, if you don't see the stencil you just did, then you've got too much paint on it. You've got to be able to kind of see it to know that it's going to show up on your pull when you pull it. I'm going to do this one on, I guess I'll do this one on this side of the deli print just to show you. And the more layers you use, the more you want to let it dry, and the more pressure you're going to use, and the longer you're going to leave it. But I just pull up a little corner, and if it's coming up, I go with it. So that is a little bit of a ghost print from what was left over in the stencil. I didn't use enough paint, so this is sort of the trial and error that you do. And there is my first stencil, and then there is my second pull. All right, let's do it again, but better. I really want to do the feather this time, so I'm going to use the bigger block. And you can see I put away my blocks without cleaning them, so let me see if I can get some of this off. If not, I will maybe use some tape to see if I can get it off. Let me see if I can just do a good layer of paint on it and pull it up. I'm just going to use copy paper this time because I'm just trying to clean it. These are going to be such great collage uses later. And that's what I love about jelly printing. It's like you you can't get it wrong. You're going to be able to use it no matter what. Oh, good. So I don't know if you can see. Wow. See how clean it took up all of that yellow that was left on my plate. This is why I love jelly printing, because I don't have to clean it. And look how clean the plate is. Wow. This is the thing for me, because I am lazy and I forget stuff. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, I think, is pink. just going to make sure that my feather is sort of laid out right. Fix its hair a little, maybe. That one's awful funky. Let me try another one. And now I'm going to print just pink on this feather. Now the way for me to do that the best is to print a piece of paper over it so I can make sure it's making contact everywhere. And you know what I'm accidentally doing now? I'm making a mask of a feather. You see my feather? I'm gonna pull it up. And now I have this awesome feather print from what's left that I will fill up and print on something else. All right, so let me get back to my feather. So my feather, I love this. Look, there were some people get bent out of shape because there are little air bubbles in their jelly plate, but look at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Okay, so the next thing is gonna be really important. What shape do I want on my feather? All right, so I'm gonna use these scallops because that fits pretty good. What color do I want it to be? I think maybe turquoise. My favorite color. If you haven't figured it out yet, turquoise is my absolute favorite color. A lot of stuff in my house is turquoise and gray and black and silver, but mostly turquoise. Purple, a little bit of purple. Okay, so while this is nice and smooth, I'm gonna put this down, and then I'm gonna put my feather where I'll get the most of the scallop design. And then again, I gotta use a cleanup page. This is just that copying page where I tried to. Now, all right, let's see what we got. We got a cute little page there. Oh, look, isn't that fabulous? So we have a jelly printed feather, pink background, blue scallops. Love it. And then I think maybe we should do a little something on top. Just for fun, let's put some pink down on this and see if I can pull up a print of that stencil. I'm gonna try to be less aggressive. Maybe I won't ruin this one like I did the last one. Jelly printing is so about, I mean, I don't know yet how to do it right, but it's so about just playing and understanding that you may not get exactly what you think you're gonna get, but just go with it, you know? It's okay. You're still gonna get something really cool and really unique and one of a kind. Let me clean off this sprayer. All right, so look, my first cleanup sheet, and that I'm loving that. I think that's fabulous. That will be great with die cuts or to use as just collage. I've seen a lot of people use like one brayer for warm and one brayer for cool colors. I'm not mad at that. That's kind of cute. I think this is going to be the winner. I'm going to use the gold now. It's bigger than I wanted. I'm sure if I looked hard enough, I'd find, ooh, that's a lot. I'd find a stencil with smaller, cohesive, smaller circles, but I don't feel like looking. And I've already started. I've just grabbed out a few stencils, so, oh, that is money right there. It's so pretty. I love this gold. Okay, so let's put this down. And I want my feather to go right on top of all of that. Tap it in. get a copy paper. And print it, just so I have something to press it with. Make sure it gets all of that gold out of all of those dots in that stencil, or circles, whatever you want to call them. There's paint all over my ring. Shocking. Okay. Man, why didn't I use that over something else? Are y'all ready? So, we have pink, we have big blue arches, and then we have this gold dot on top. And are we done with our feather? Nay, nay. But do you think I'm going to let all this gold go to waste? Nay, nay again. So let me put, ooh, I think turquoise and gold's pretty. Let me clean this plate. I'm using turquoise. I'm gonna do the jelly paper again because I love collaging with jelly paper because it's see-through, and that's sort of my jam on collaging. So I'll show you. Eventually, I'll do a video about using these papers. Oh, look at the shimmer and shine, and that's just a leftover. That's just a cleaning up page. That's what's so cool about this. All right. So, now that we have this, I want to do something very special. I'm going to stamp on it. Okay, here's a cute little eyeball. See that? With a little, ooh, I think that'd be cute. Ooh, I'll put it down here so I can get all of that. Ooh, I'll put it like that so I can get that butterfly. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp with archival ink on top of everything else that I've created. All right, these are the Tim Holtz small little acrylic blocks. Let me get this out of the way for now. Get that out of the way. Okay. Ink it up good. I'm going to do one just to make sure that I like the way it looks and that it's printing good. And oh, look, how marvelous is that? Let's see if I can get a second out of it. That's pretty cool too. All right, let's see what happens here. She is so pretty. Okay. All right, Lord, don't let me mess this up. Okay, I want her butterfly on it. So you know, feathers aren't really together, so we're just, and I'm gonna have a big bony stem like thing, so I'm gonna have to rock it around that stem that's in the middle or it won't print. Are we ready? Look, y'all, don't y'all love that? Oh my gosh, I just had an idea. I don't know if this will work, but let's try it. What if I took an acrylic paint pen and filled in that eye a little bit. And I've got a light pen around here somewhere. It might not work. Let's try it for that eye shine. I find in almost everything I do, once I add an eye shine to an eyeball and lighten up that eye where it's supposed to be white, they just come alive a little bit better than if they were, you know, one note. Ooh, I am digging this. And oh, I didn't even plan that, but like the little tear duct is pink because that's just how it worked out. Look how cute. Now I have like a real, this eye is staring at you kind of thing. And there's a feather that we can use as collage in our journal pages. I want to show you something else too. This is, I'm going to try this. So this might not work. If not, I'll cut it out. So here we're going to do with we have this stamp. It's just one eye, right? So watch this. Something else we can do with jelly plates. Okay, I'm going to stamp it up real good. And I'm going to go this way. I would really like to have two eyes, but this one's facing the wrong way. So watch what we can do. This is so exciting. Hang on. If I can find where I put my jelly plate. Hold on. Okay. That one's dirty. Y'all, I just had it. What'd I do with it? Did y'all see me? It's gonna dry. There it is. Okay, found it. All right, so watch this. I want it the opposite way, so I'm gonna stamp it on here on my jelly plate. And I'm not gonna press real hard because I don't want to lose the crispiness of this stamp, but I'm gonna sort of go over each section to make sure there's good contact. All right. And watch this. It's not going to be perfect, but you're going to get the gist. I can stamp this onto my paper, and it's the mirror image. Wow, I had a lot left on there. It's the mirror image. So if I wanted to, granted, now I have a great guide and I can use my paint pens and fill in that eye, but I just flipped the image. So if you have a stamp that you'd like to have that's facing the wrong way and you'd like to have the other way, use your jelly plate, because look, now I can make this a whole face. I believe I'm gonna have to do that and show you how I use it later. I'm gonna show you something else that I like to do. You don't have to always use white paper. I mean, you know this. I'm not teaching y'all anything that you don't know. I'm just showing you a little night in my mind and in my little crafting adventure. I haven't used this jelly plate very much at all. All right, so if I'm going to print, I'm going to take this yellow that I've just done and just print it on this white roll of paper that I've got. You know what? And this is a beautiful thing about the smaller ones. I can do it this way too because I couldn't tell which way was what. So you can use it almost like a stamping tool and take your jelly plate to your paper. This is great for journals because you don't have loose paper here. It's attached to a book. And look, just as clean. Oh my gosh, I got another secondary. That's just like a little gift from the heavens. I got a secondary printing of that eyeball. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna make green. So when you're mixing colors, you just kind of mix them up. A little bit of a swirl on your plate. This is turquoise and yellow. And look, I have a nice little green. So let me put a stencil down and then I'll pick that same thing up. All right, look at this. So I want this flower on this roll that I just printed. but I don't want all of that. So I am going to control. I'm going to put this right there. And let's cover up some of these pieces with some of my scraps that are lying around. Oops. Go back. Oh, terrible job, but watch. I'm just gonna get the flower. Ta-da! Isn't that cool? And now I've got all of these pieces that have the rest of that stamp that I can use for collage purposes later. Now that I've got this, let's just put this whole thing down on. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. And I've still got some left, so let me just do some white. Just to clean in my plate. I told you this old paper doesn't take printing very well. This one isn't that old. Of course, I used the copyright date, so I couldn't tell you how old it is, but it is a little brittle. But look at that. Isn't that cute? I've got the ghost print of the stencil I use. And now that I've cleaned my plate pretty good, anytime your plate doesn't come all the way clean, you can use tape. I'm just going to grab some washi tape because I usually matte medium washi tape anyway to make sure it stays down. So, okay, if it's going to be a little less sticky, I've got glue sticks. I'm not afraid to use them, so I'm just going to clean up my plate with this. All right, you can use clear packaging tape and then you sort of make your own washi tape, but I just use whatever's close, and that was it. I'll leave you with this. How gorgeous is that? I love it. I can't ever figure out where my camera is, but look. Isn't she pretty? We just printed that feather. We had this. Yeah, and we made that. So, and look at all the fun stuff that I have to play with as collages, which is my favorite thing to do. I've got these cleanup pages, cleanup page, 2 prints on that jelly, another failed attempt at doing something, a cool little outline on a cool background. I love this, that I masked off the rest of that stencil and just got the center of that flower. Center of the flower. A full set of eyes because I used the jelly plate to do the opposite. Another little runoff page that picked up really well. This is great. This has got that gold on it. This is that gold stencil cleanup page. Not even on purpose, just that's what we wound up with. That's not so bad for 30 minutes of jelly printing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Chaotic Crafting. Bye!